So let's go a little deeper here on what's been winning. And you know, because we've been talking about it a lot lately, of this healthcare trade. Biotech has been rallying after a couple of years of underperformance. It has come to life and in a big way. As I said, month to date, 6.5% for that space. New 52-week high for healthcare. The XBI is coming off a fresh high for this year. Bill, you bought more Amgen, which hit a 52-week high today. Carrie owns it in her charitable trust. Tell us more.
I think we're in a bull market, a secular bull market, and there's these ebbs and flows. Obviously, there's an ebb down in April, so things mature very fast. In year two of a bull market, this rotation, it's healthcare and financials that typically lead. So I wouldn't say we're year two, but that's the narrative around it. I think that you got to lean into what's working right now, and healthcare is working. Amgen had a tremendous earnings report, 564 earnings versus 497, and this cardiovascular drug Repatha was a very positive surprise. And so there's a lot about them right now tied to MariTide, their GLP drug, and there's a lot of questions. And a lot of that was it's still unanswered, and it was sort of being able to push aside, and you were able to focus on the pipeline that they have this year. That's, I think, is really important right now. We'll hear more about MariTide later this year, but for now, this stock is in breakout. The technicals are very strong, and we want to lean into that right now.
I mean, that's a breakout, 17% in a month. What do you think?
Yeah, well, we talked about it recently, and there are four reasons why the healthcare and biotech stocks are going up. One is oversold. They've been oversold for years, but finally people are paying attention because they're starting to realize that the overbought part of the market is potentially too overbought, as we just discussed. It's a place to go. UNH has been a catalyst. Even though it's not drug and biotech, it has been one of the benchmarks for healthcare, and it's up 45% since its bottom. It shows that you can sort of work through your problems. So that, I think, has raised people's awareness. Three is, if you can make a deal, such as Lilly and Novo did, with the government to make things work in a drug that they're going to have price pressure down 60%, but still make it better for your profitability, why not do it? And it increases concentration in this world, and so I think that's great for the industry. And their earnings have been decent. So you've got a lot of things working for you. Why not buy low multiple stocks? So
Scotia is initiating a number of names in the biotech universe today. AbbVie outperform. 280 is the price target there. We can let's try and cycle through these as I mentioned, so we can get an idea. So it's 238. They say it's going to 280. Bristol sector perform is 45. Let's look at the charts, please. Bristol again, sector perform 45. I mean, the stock is at 49, so that's why they have a perform on it. They don't love it. Regeneron also performed 650, a little bit lower than where it is now. And Jenny, you own Bristol and Regeneron, so weigh in, please.
Right. So I think they've got the wrong price targets, but the right idea. And you look at these stocks, and they're the theme that's working today, which is super cheap, high free cash flow, and a definite earnings growth story ahead. So Bristol trades, for example, at 7 times earnings with a 5% dividend yield. It's up 7% in the last 3 months. Regeneron trades at 14 times, 6% free cash flow yield, is up 23% in the last 3 months. And for Regeneron particularly, they have one of the biggest drug pipelines in the whole pharma and biotech industry. Like, that's where I want to be right now. I have a further out theme on these too, which is who are going to be some of the true AI beneficiaries where you know they're making money, where you know the use of AI is going to drop straight to the bottom line. It's the pharma companies. They're going to be able to do better research, use fewer scientists, take up less lab space. They're going to be completely revolutionized by AI. And I do wonder if a little bit of that thought is just starting to trickle in to these kinds of stocks.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I mean, I'm sure there are any number of names that would look like a Regeneron chart where you see the breakout in 1 month. This one happens to be 27%. We told you what AbbVie, for example, is doing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have 6 biotech names on my best stocks in the market list, and we've talked about some of these throughout the course of this year. Gilead is one that we've brought up repeatedly. Take a look at this chart. AbbVie looks incredible. Alnylam, ALNY, we did a segment on that. Insmed, Natera, which I don't know very well, but these are stocks that are moving up and to the right in a sector that had sat out most of the last 3 years since the market bottomed at the end of 2022. Some of them even have dividends, believe it or not. And I think that list is going to expand. It's nice that Amgen is on it and Gilead because people know those names. But I may be coming back to you in a week or 2 weeks and telling you I now have 10, 11, or 12 biotech or related companies in that segment. And many of these are names that growth investors just don't know because the market hasn't given them a reason to learn.